Wow. Your national champion is Ryan Vasbinder, goes to 12-0 on the year.
Ryan graduated from 𝗧𝗵𝗲. Before he came to Michigan State, he had won a D2 national championship. I get contacted by one of his high school mentors, and he's like, hey, how would you think about Ryan Vasbinder being part of your program? The big thing was, would Ryan be willing to go heavyweight? He's wrestled 197 his whole college career, and he was willing to make that commitment.
He's 225, and he's wrestling guys that are like 285. Because heavyweight is a meat grinder in Big Ten.
He's in new territory. Our dual meet against Princeton, he had that moment. I could see it. It transitioned from like, hey, I'm not a 197-pounder anymore, I'm a heavyweight. And it's clicking for him. He's figured out how to compete with these guys.
Ryan is definitely somebody who beats to his own drum. Ryan and I were supposed to live together, right? We decided somewhere in the course of last year, we're like, okay, we'll go ahead and we'll live together next year, get a nice place.
Since I was like a freshman in high school, I've been thinking about living in a van. There's just always something about it that's been interesting to me.
You talk to me about the van, and a lot of times when you talk about stuff and you don't necessarily have the money for it, yeah, it's kind of like, seems like it's in the distant future. All of a sudden, next thing I know, there is a van. He's showing me the listing for it. I'm like, okay, I should probably start looking for my own place now.
I go to a local restaurant. I see somebody else there from the athletic department. They said, hey, Roger, hey, one of your wrestlers just looked at one of my friend's vans. I just immediately whipped around and I was like, are you talking about Ryan Vasbinder? Tell your friend not to sell it to him.
So this is the ceiling right now. I redid it because we had a little leak coming through right here. Up there is just kind of some personal stuff, picture of my dog and my family.
It's not warm.
2 nights ago, got back from a team trip, 2 in the morning, and I was like, where are you sleeping tonight? He goes, I may just sleep right here in the parking lot where it's parked. And I'm like, okay.
The van is not huge. Maybe big enough for like somebody under 130 pounds. He's about 230, so there's that.
It has a fridge, it's got a sink with running water. I got a little stove in it, a full solar setup, so I have electricity throughout it.
It is getting pretty cold, like right now. We've got a little bit of snow, but we haven't got our first serious snowfall yet. So he hasn't really got like a sense of how that's gonna be.
He's like, well, I got this negative 34-degree sleeping bag, and it actually gets kind of hot.
I like sleeping in the cold anyway. The sleeping bag's kept me warm, and then in the morning, if I get up and it's a little cold, I'll turn on one of those heaters and it's usually fine.
He's a traveling man. He was born a rambling man. He's definitely not meant to stay in one place very long.
Once I graduate from Michigan State, I'm hoping to find a fully remote job so I can work and travel at the same time. I think it'd be kind of a bummer to have this van and then just be stuck in one spot again.
He's okay being himself. I think that takes a lot for a person in today's society, not to be constantly looking at what other people are saying about you or trying to display an image of yourself. He's comfortable in his own shoes.
Pirates are like his favorite thing. That nomadic lifestyle kind of speaks to him, calls to him. And I kind of feel like the van is like his pirate ship. That's gonna be the thing that he goes around and sails the 7 seas in.